This is going to be an incredibly boring episode of Investment Tanking, your guide to the premium tanks. I say boring because it's actually reviewing the Tier 5 French premium artillery, the leFH18B2. It's actually got a very long name and I can't pronounce it, so I'm not even going to bother. It's actually a quite rare tank. It's not actually for sale in the game at all. It was removed several patches ago, not a clue when, just for being far too overpowered. Imagine the FB304 with a much larger range and being able to fire every 8 seconds or so. That is just plain overpowered.
Enemy armor is hit.
This tank doesn't actually get preferential matchmaking, probably due to its stupidly high fire rate, very good damage, and its 0.74 dispersion at 100 meters. That's very good for artillery. So, just to go over some of the stats which, to be honest, aren't even that necessary on this tank. You can go forwards at 28 kilometers an hour, reverse at 10 kilometers an hour. You weigh around 32 tons, up to 34. You have the normal 4 crew for the French artillery. That is the commander, who also does the radios, the gunner, the driver and the loader. So you're not going to get any of your high tier French artillery crews in this. The armour, which you shouldn't be relying on, is 60 at the front, 60 at the side and 55 at the rear. You don't technically have a turret, so that doesn't matter. Just bear in mind that although it still sounds pretty crap at around 60, that will bounce a lot of tier 3 and 4 shells, which if you're top tier in a tier 5 game, that actually matters quite a lot. You can shotgun a lot of enemies if you need to. You have 9.45 horsepower a ton, and your traverse is 22 degrees a second. You shouldn't really be traversing too much anyway. You have a fairly good angle of fire, if you can see on the minimap there. Not quite sure of the degrees. View range 390 for some ungodly reason. That's more than some tier 10s and 9s and 8s. And your traverse arc, here we go, -15 to +15, that's 30 degrees. Your average shell damage with high explosive is 410, with a 1.91 meter splash radius,
That was close.
and that penetrates with 53 millimeters. You also get an armor penetrating round with 64 millimeters, which is utterly pointless,
Enemy
with
armor is
350 damage. What is good, which you see me just using a minute ago, was the heat round, which does 104 penetration with 350 damage. The aim time is 5.10 seconds, and you can carry 42 rounds. And you can reload stock, that's without a ammo or any other equipment, at 9.3 seconds. I've got mine down to just under 9, between 9 and 8, and that is blisteringly fast. If you fire, constantly hit all your targets in an average game, non-unicum, you can expect just under 10,000 credits per game. Is not too good for grinding credits, but brilliant for farming WN8. Just look at the counter up in the top right. I'm a terrible artillery player, and this is like shooting fish in a barrel. It is not a shame at all that this was removed from general sale. So is it a good tank? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Next time it goes on sale on a special event, go for it. Other than that, spend more gold and keep tanking. Leichte Feldhaubitze.
Game over.